We saw on one of the groups that we're on, they'd posted an implant picture, basically. So they'd taken an X-ray, and they didn't recognise what implant it was. So they put it out there, and obviously there was a ream of, I think it's a this implant, I think it's a that implant, and da-da-da-da-da. But we were saying just how helpful those kind of groups are.
Oh, yeah. I think it, yeah. Well, I mean, and you know, there's lots of different manufacturers out there. I want to use the word exotic, but you know, implants have been around for a long time. There's lots of different companies. They, you know, some of them obviously have been around for a long time and probably will be around for a very, very long time. And some of them come and go. And the problem that we have is it's more the internal design of the implant and what the connection is. So implants, you know, they don't last forever. And if somebody kind of rocks up and they've got an implant that you're not familiar with, or the patient, I mean, you can't expect patients to kind of remember what the implant manufacturer's name is. Even, you know, you can give them a passport and you can give them documents, but, you know, if it's been 10, 15 years or more, hopefully, then, you know, that piece of paper might have got lost, or, you know, they don't remember things. And dentists retire, notes, you know, aren't always recorded, you know, to the degree of having that information on, or they're hard to trace. It can get lost within the notes.
That's definitely another podcast right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we've got this, I'm going to give you a scenario. So we've got this implant that patient with an implant that turns up, and, you know, it's, how do you get to the connection? What connection do you need to take the crown off, let's say, for instance, if that has an issue, or the bridge or whatever it is? And then what kind of screw do you need to be able to put back in there? Because like, you know, screws, there are different types of fittings. So you have like a flathead, you have a Phillips, you have a Torx, and implants are the same. So we have different drivers and different screws for different implants. And even within the same brand, we also have, you know, different drivers sometimes and different screws. So because of that, it's, you know, it's important that we kind of identify what the implant is to help us out. So there are universal kits out there you can buy. And then you know, basically you clean everything out. Could be cotton wool, PTFE, could be silicone, whatever's in that connection. And then you put your driver in and, you know, does that fit? Does that fit? But let's say you're close, but you're not quite right. You can then shear the screw head, and then you've got a real problem trying to get that out. But then let's say you do get it out, and then, well, how am I going to restore this? You know, what do I need? So identifying the manufacturer really helps in those circumstances, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to replace like with like. So each manufacturer has its sort of own internal connection as well. So you need to know what type of abutment's going to fit into that implant, because not, you know, so the abutment is the connection that goes, you know, in or onto the implant. And that's very specific to each implant design. So if you don't know what that implant is, you're not going to be able to put an abutment on, and therefore you're not going to be able to put a crown, a bridge, whatever else on top efficiently. So you need to understand that as well. And so identifying the implant is important. And, you know, people do post and put, you know, an X-ray up and say, you know, can anybody help me identify this? For those reasons, they're trying to, you know, help their patient out. But there's a really good website called What Implant Is This? Or What Implant Is That? Can't remember now. Which has a huge catalogue of implants, X-rays, pictures, and you kind of just try and match it up, and you go through the filters that it asks for you. Has it got a rounded apex? Has it got a flat apex? You know, has it got V-shaped threads? Has it got buttress threads? You know, has it got, you know, is it an internal and external connection? It's got an open apex, you know, and all these things, you know, so you basically tick your boxes, and then it will filter down to what implant it is. And then you can compare your X-ray to that one. But usually, you know, you pop it on the group, and, you know, within a minute, Someone's gone, yeah, it's one of those. And that's probably because they're familiar with that system. They've used that system or they're using that system. So they know what it looks like.
I think what's also, sorry.
Yeah. So it's a great source of information. I think these groups are.
And exactly what you've just said, actually, because not only identifying which implant it is, you often hear people saying, you know, new patient to me, he's already got an implant. It's a blah, 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 or they'll be asking about drivers. And somebody will say, even if, you know, and I haven't got that driver for that system, and somebody will go, don't worry, this one will fit it as well, which is absolutely fantastic. 'Cause if not, you know, clinicians out there would go out thinking they have to buy a driver for that specific implant. But, you know, there are others, as you know, that fit. So it's great to hear that going on as well.
Yeah, there is some cross compatibility. And I you know, I get it. I mean, you know, when Europe decided that they wanted a universal fit for phones, you know, I kind of get it. But I also think, well, you know, there's a thing called progress. And the reason that phones, you know, it's not just competition that they design certain fits for products. It's because they're trying to progress. And so it stifles progression if you limit it. So, you know, and where I'm going with that is I kind of have a little bit of a whinge about the fact that we haven't got universal connections internally on implants and universal drivers. But then I kind of understand that actually, you know, there's probably designs that are going to come forward, connections that are going to come forward that improve the connection. So you can't stifle it. You know, you don't want to stifle it for those reasons. But it's frustrating that we've got all these myriads of connections and screwdrivers and so we need to know what they are. So yeah, there's pros and cons to that. But that being said, I've totally forgotten what I was talking about. Why was I going down there? What was the question?
We were talking about different drivers fitting different implants. Snow on the roof. What am I going to have for tea?
So there are drivers that are cross compatible. That's where I was going with it. And that cross compatibility, like you said, is you know, helpful. And there is a site actually, and I think it might be called Spot the Implant, which is slightly different to what Implant Is That. And I've seen on there that they actually write the driver down. And I had a go at doing something like this very briefly, but I got sidetracked. So I think we've done one. I think you need more than one to make a comparison.
I think you're right.
But the idea is that it and Spot the Implant does this to sort of, it tells you the driver that you need for the implant company. It doesn't tell you all of them. And I'm going to make this up. So don't, you know, if anybody's listening, don't. So it might say add an implant, hex driver 1.2 millimeters, for instance. So you know that the added implant is 1. It might say the same, you know, it might say Ostem hex driver 1.2 millimeters. So they might be cross. I don't know. So don't, but they might be cross compatible. So in that respect, that's quite good. So you could almost, you know, when my brain was to say, right, okay, if I've got a 1.2 hex millimeter driver, what implant system is that compatible with? And then the other way around. So if I typed Ostem in, it would tell me what it was. And if I typed add in, it would tell me what it was. If I typed, what's the other company called? Begins with an S. Straumann. If I type Straumann in, I mean, that's, you know, it's all those things, you know, Neodent, all those, and it will tell you what driver you needed. And that was what I was trying to build, and I just never got round to it. Don't get any ideas, anybody, by the way. Don't go pinching.
Well, too late.
It's probably already out there anyway. Probably,
too late.
Probably just don't know about it.
But it's really a massive use to have that network, really, I suppose, is the way to sum it up, because it isn't just about how we started, which was, you know, which implant is this? It's all the other bits that go with it, and you only know if you know. So it is fantastic to have that network and putting it out there. I mean, there's networks for loads of reasons, but certainly the implant questions, they've been really, really useful.
Yeah, I think so.
Really useful.
Yeah. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think it does. Very much so.
Brilliant. Excellent.
So before we sign off, how do you feel about some random quickfire questions? He doesn't know about this, by the way. So he's probably feeling a bit like,
yeah, really, really excited. Yeah.
Are you? Not dental related. Is that better?
I don't know. That could be worse. All right.
Scone or scone?
Scone.
Scone. Okay. Cream first or jam?
Oh, you see, my brother and me argue about this. He even looked it up and he said the Queen well, obviously she's not alive anymore. It's the king now, isn't it? But so me, it's cream, then jam, because I regard cream as butter and then jam on the top. So that's Devon, isn't it? And Cornwall is jam then cream. Apparently.
I know, it's fantastic. It's such
so that's me, yeah, cream and then jam.
Okay, fantastic. Pool or beach?
Okay, beach.
You did understand when I said quick fire questions, yeah?
Right, yeah. It's got to be beach.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, sand.
On
okay.
a pool I regard as training. So I'll get in the pool, I'll train. However, there's a sauna. So,
okay.
Yeah, so,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right at this moment, sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Oh, okay. What we talking, like crisp, Scotch egg, or what we thinking?
I think I spotted a Scotch egg in the fridge.
That's on your mind now.
It is now.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, crisps. I am partial to cheese and onion crisps, or beef hula hoops. Occasionally Monster Munch and Wotsits.
Pickled onion or beef? Monster Munch.
Beef.
Okay.
Beef. Pickled onion won't hurt my tongue too much. I can eat the beef all day.
Who knew? Name 2 people you'd invite round for dinner. Famous people.
Can they be dead?
Yes, they can.
Right. Okay. Only 2.
Oh, I'll stretch it to 3.
Oh, all right. I think I would like to talk to Buddha.
Okay.
I'd be quite curious. I'd ask him some questions. Obviously needs a translator.
Well, yes.
But yeah, definitely be curious on some of, the philosophies that he's got.
Fab. That's one.
Yeah. It's a big old table, isn't it? There and kind of Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
I'm just again, obviously before he died. But again, some, pick his brains and just, I think it'd just be fascinating to, have a conversation with him. And Nikola Tesla.
Okay.
Those are quick 3. There's a lot more.
Oh yeah, no, we're only doing 3. Only doing 3. I might let you have a few more on other podcasts.
Robin Williams, not Robbie Williams. Although I don't mind either.
Hey, we ain't got that big a table, okay? I can see where this is going.
I love
10,
I
11.
love his sense of humour, and I liked him as a human being. In terms of some of the things that he used to say and stuff like that. And I just thought, I'm not sure that I would survive an evening with him, because he'd probably make me laugh to the point that I couldn't breathe. Because I just found his energy quite engaging. Anyway, right, that's it. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
How about you?
Oh no, you'll have to save those for another podcast. I've got a list for you. Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Until the next time.
Yeah, till the next time. Hopefully it'll be a bit warmer.
Many thanks.